taking a nice deep breath. And we begin our grid work with the basic grid work steps. Calling all parts of us in so that we are fully present. Making sure that we are anchored into our bodies. And if you feel called to do a little bit of tapping, a little bit of stretching, whatever you need to do to get to that space and place of presence. And then, of course, connecting with our earth ancestors, welcoming them here. Thank you and welcome. Inviting our star ancestors to also co-create with us. Thank you and welcome. Taking another deep breath as we set the intention to call forward a field of quantum flow. Very similar to 0 point energy. This allows our grid work to be effective across all time, space, dimensions and realities and versions of Gaia, reverberating throughout all of her multi-dimensional selves and benefiting each and every one. We are being called to begin now with some toning. So I'd like to invite you to tone whatever vowel comes forward for you. It might be simply Om. The note is unique to each person listening. So I'm going to just sit here in silence and allow you to tone. Beautiful. Thank you so much. Our next step after calibrating with sound is to call in the elements. And we will be working with the 5 elements. As I state the element name, you may feel called to use light language, hand symbols, you may draw. Water, fire, earth, air, ether. If you need to pause to connect a little bit more with each element and take your time, you are absolutely welcome to do so. Feeling each of those elements within your body, please. Just taking some time to become aware of the way that they interact, the way they merge, converge in all the parts of your body. Making your physical vessel such advanced technology in doing grid work and understanding that. We are now being invited to call into our mind's eye. And if you tend to feel rather than see, you may even use the image prompts that I have given you here in this module, or draw. Do not limit yourself to just forcing something through your third eye. Allow yourself to tune in with whatever visual way that comes in. And we are connecting with pyramids on Gaia. We have learned through our work in the gridwork community and others that have tuned in that there are many more pyramids upon the planet than we know of. And some are credited as natural landforms, but they were actually man-made pyramids or interdimensional made pyramids, you might say. Those pyramids dot the earth as nodes. Many are still in the process of being reactivated. And so we have a 2-part mission today on this gridwork excursion that we're doing. We will be reactivating dormant temples, is what I'm hearing. These pyramids, but they are dormant earth pyramids. Earth and water. I stand corrected. They are dormant earth and water pyramids. Water pyramids are ice. So first, let's start with that. Now I will give you an idea of our next step because I think it's important for us to know the end from the beginning. Our second stage of this grid work is to anchor in crystalline pyramids, which are hovering in the atmosphere and ready to be plugged in to the grid, you might say. So that is our task today. It's twofold. Throughout these 2 different grid work tasks that we're doing, you may employ light language, you may draw, visualize. Please use your inner child to guide you. If you're outside, this may be very fun too, because you could be connecting in a different way than if you're just sitting inside a house. So let's start with the earth or water pyramid, which you choose. I'd like to call in the dragons and any other guides who are stepping forward to assist you personally to journey to the temple with which you are working. Have some fun getting there. I do feel a dragon guide coming forward to direct our work here, our grid play. And I will be channeling through some direction from that particular dragon who is very connected to these earth/water pyramids that we are revitalizing, reactivating. And once you get to yours, it's important for you to be with your dragon outside the pyramid first to calibrate. You may also connect with the guardians of that pyramid, which could come forward as earth ancestors. Not always human, sometimes elemental. And our dragon guide is giving each of us a permission slip, like some sort of paperwork in a way, a seal. He's telling me it's a seal. You're going to show the symbol to the guardians of the pyramid that you have arrived to, and they will actually approve you entering, right? So you may stop and draw that symbol that's coming into your mind's eye. Don't forget to breathe. And once you have felt that you are now able to enter with the permission of the guardians, I'd like you to just pause before you do and thank the guardians for what they have been doing. I just feel it's important for us to express gratitude and witness. So you may have like a personal moment with some of these guardians. You may see them in their, like humanity if they're humans, but you may connect with them more deeply. I feel like there might be like a personal connection that you want to make with them. I'm seeing they need witnessed and validated. They've been stalwart all this time. Wonderful. We always spread gratitude and love wherever we go, don't we? Gratitude and love for each and every being who is doing their very best, showing up the way they're showing up for Gaia. Oh, take a deep breath. Oh, yeah, back in the nice. Shake out your body. As you enter the pyramid with your dragon, your dragon is carrying an orb. I would say it's kind of like a bubble of codes. And this bubble of codes is going to be used to reactivate this pyramid. You may also have with you different tools, crystals, etherically, but also in person. So you guys are kind of like putting all of your, everything you brought in the middle, all your supplies. Let's figure this out. What are we going to do? Some of you may need to pause this video message and go forward like with a little bit more open-endedness, because I'm going fast for you, and that's okay. You may need to organize everything if you're that kind of person that likes to have it all organized, and assess all the different resources that you have at your hands to reactivate this temple. You can make it as complex or as simple as you would like. Those of you who are body workers, what you do here is not going to be very unlike what you do with human bodies, is what I'm being told. I'm going to walk us all through a simple activation. The first thing I feel drawn to do is reconnect the apex with the base of the pyramid through the center. So you will find the central point of the pyramid and go stand directly under the apex. And it's really like the pranic tube, the central channel of the pyramid. So extending up through the apex, connecting the heavens down to the base of the pyramid where you're connecting to Earth. Noticing if there's any disconnect anywhere, sitting with that. Again, if you are a body worker, this is something you do with people, humans. If you are not working with other humans' bodies, you can just use your intuition on how to do this. I feel a lot of you are going to use hands right now, and your actual whole body. I feel some of you might dance or sway or move. It's okay if you're in nature in the middle of the park and people are like, what is that person doing? This is the inner child, okay? There's a little sound that wants to come out. Some of you may need to use sound to clear blocks of this tube, of this channel of light, this channel of energy. You may need to use sound for that in order for it to be realigned, reactivated, and brought into flow. We are being reminded to utilize the elements we have at our disposal, all 5 that we called in. Okay. Now, moving forward, we're going to the 4 points of the base of the pyramid. Each of the 4 points is connected to the 4 elements and the 4 directions. And also, the center point is your sort of your 0 point, your ether element. They're showing it to me in like in a multi-dimensional way, as if it's a sacred geometry template placed over top. Each pyramid has a different sacred geometry template. And if you would like to call in Archangel Metatron to help you understand the template of your pyramid, you're welcome to do that. I feel the dragon that is with you is connecting, plugging things back in. It looks like a bunch of plugs got taken out of outlets. This is just obviously like my human, but if you can, this is symbolic of like plugging in things. So reconnecting different meridians of the pyramid. And also there are some dragons that are part of the pyramid that are assigned to the pyramid that this dragon guide is speaking to and connecting with, and like, let's go team, getting them involved in all of this. So there's a lot going on right now all at one time. Once you have felt like all of this activity is beginning to settle and it's become alive again, it's alive. You are welcome to finalize the process by simply tracing an infinity sign in front of your body and saying it is done, it is done, it is done. They are telling me this is like phase 1, but this is sufficient. Thank you. It is done, it is done, it is done. They're also letting me know that you are feeling in your body what's happening to the pyramid, because as above, so below, as within, so without. Take some time before we transition into the crystalline pyramids to connect with your own body And whatever's happening in your own body, since it's a reflection of the pyramid, might indicate to you any final tweaks or adjustments that need to be made. Your body is channeling the energy of the pyramid for a moment here, and it is a great tool to be able to support the pyramid in its reactivation. Taking 1 or 2 deep breaths. Let's now transition into the second part of our grid play journey today. This one is an assignment, an invitation to assist with the anchoring in of the diamond crystalline pyramid templates. Templates is what I am hearing. I'd like to call in some information around these. Connecting first with whichever guides would like to step forward to overlight and to direct us a little bit with this. In addition to any of our own personal guides, and I'm hearing galactic guides this time. Star family. I am feeling the presence of the Azez. Some of you may not be familiar with them. A-Z-E-Z. There's actually a crystal connected to them called azeztolite. They are very high frequency light beings, and I can actually refer you to some materials that will give you background on them. I am honestly not quite as familiar with them, but it came very clear to me that this is who it is. So I'm excited to get to know them a little better through this. They do not attach themselves or identify themselves through, say, a star or a planet of some kind. And that is one of the biggest indicators that I knew as I knew who they were. Because I was kind of taking my mind inventory through the different star systems and things, and I was like, okay, is it this one, this one? Nope, nope, nope. They're more similar to the angels in that respect. I feel like I'm still prefacing this because they're gently coming into our field and they need a little time to calibrate to us and us to them. So just opening to that, using light language, light language spoken, whatever you need to do to kind of bring them forward and connect with them. I'm seeing them as aurora frequencies, like even though I'm actually seeing a particular color for each of you. So it's almost like they are a light, and in order to modulate their frequencies to be able to be best connected with, they're entering through a prism type technology that then fractalizes their frequency into the colors of the spectrum, the light spectrum. So they will maybe come to you, maybe 1 or 2, maybe 3, however many, but they're going to come like as individual colors, I feel. Don't forget to breathe. Connect with your body for a moment. Just become aware of your physical body. Are there any places in your physical body that you can expand? Expand a little bit more. Provide a little more space. Using breath, it's an easy way to do it. This set network grid of diamond crystalline pyramids is connected to what we have labeled as the galactic children. The galactic children who are not going to be embodied but are still assisting the planet are linked to the Azez. They are also most comfortable in the fairy kingdom and will be working closely with the fairies. We may also choose to call in the assistance of the crystalline fairies and the crystalline fairy kingdom to support what we are doing today. We are being invited now to determine an actual coordinate location on the planet, which will determine where we anchor in this crystalline pyramid template. Now, this may be a place where you will want to pause the audio because I feel that some of you might get numbers and you will need to go to a GPS coordinate translator and type those numbers in rather than having a location. They're wanting us to, let me put it this way, they're wanting us to be very precise with the locations, in that we are literally getting that GPS, the latitude and longitude point. Very specific. That being said, they are also inviting us to use the comment section of this lesson to type in the coordinates so that it's recorded for future reference. So because this lesson has that, comment feature, I want you to just keep that in mind. This is being recorded for future generations and for those who are stewarding and guiding some of the planetary grid work from above and in non-physical vessels, working with us, obviously. All right, by now I'm sure you have your coordinates, you have your position. Everyone is going to make their way to their position, and they are letting me know your position is not just the coordinates, also an altitude above or below sea level. So you may need to pause again because I didn't know this. But they are telling me once you have the latitude and longitude, you need the altitude or the depth below sea level. Interesting. And they're letting me know to convert that into kilometers. Above or below sea level is probably the most in alignment for us. So you may need to pause again and determine what that is, or you may know right now. It might have come to you right away. Weaving together with all of the beings who are carrying this out with you, your little team. We have our big team here gathered, listening to the journey, but we have our little teams, each of us individually. So yours is maybe fairies, your personal guides, your galactic guides, any personal elemental guides, in particular those connected to the diamond crystalline template. So okay, we are being invited. This is very interactive, to get out a piece of paper if you haven't already, and you may need to pause because I can feel something quite complex coming forward for some of you, and I would encourage you to pause. This is this is involved. So I see the dot art, the Indigenous Australian people, their dot art, right? You're making art out of dots. I kind of see something like that. It reminds me of what one of our community members, her name is Heather Cox, and she supported the Nexus containers, the courses, with her drawings, which were dots, but also shapes. Anyway, I see templates, right? These diamond crystalline templates being converted into a visual, like map, piece of paper, blueprint, as you channel the dots and the shapes. Now, we are not needing to go for perfection, so please know that it's, do your very best to come forward with what wants to be on this piece of paper. And color is not going to hurt, but it can simply be black and white if you'd like. Just follow your intuition. I see some of you creating it with your hands in front of your body first, and then translating that onto paper. I see a lot of different things. But again, if you need to pause, and I highly suggest you do, to fully finalize this template in a tangible way, in a physical way. Just basically you're translating it into like a visual. Then go ahead and pause, and then just come back on when you're finished. Wonderful. Thank you, thank you, thank you for creating that. Okay, now that everyone has their templates, we come back to the Azez and we ask for the next step in this. There's a body calibration required. I feel heart. Just breathe. If there's any pressure on your heart, just breathe. Any sort of interesting sensations in your chest, you can tap and breathe. Soften the forehead. Soften the forehead, soften the jaw. Put a little smile on your face. Calling in additional support, I feel the whales above and below. The earth whales and the star whales, but they're really, the star whales are coming through like in the skies. Like transparent beings navigating the oceans of the skies. And they're reminding me, I'm a little bit surprised. I've never actually connected with these elementals. And they're saying, why are you surprised? As above, so below. As below, so above. Okay. Ooh. We're using sound to do this. You're going to start by imagining this diamond crystalline pyramid template hovering above the point, the location where you are. And you're going to start in the highest pitch of your voice that you can do. Squeaky. Go a little higher from that. I feel like most people don't quite know how to access that just because we haven't been trained. So I want you to, it's not going to hurt because it's going into your falsetto voice, but it's going to be high pitched, squeaky. My son was doing this the other day. He was making a sound. He's like, Mom, that sounds like the smoke detector. Yes. That sound. Make a smoke detector sound, guys. All right. So you're going to start with that. And when you feel you've hit the right pitch, because this is going to be unique to you, so you've really got to use your intuition. That's when you've locked in to the frequency of the pyramid, and you're able to use voice almost like it's a 0 point tool, technology, to then almost like take your finger and place it down, anchor it down onto Gaia. But it's going to be through the pitch of your voice. So you're going to go from very high. As you get lower, you're going to sense the template beginning to descend. So I'm going to do this in fast forward. You're not going to go as fast as I am. I want you to go slower. And you're going to go low, low, low. As low as you want. If you're only in the skies where you're anchoring it, or at the top of a mountain or something, you're obviously not going to take your voice quite as low. The lower the altitude or into the sea, the lower you want to take that voice. And we're not asking you to do something your voice can't do. But you get the picture. You can do it more than once, right? You can make the sound more than once because it may take that. It feels like some of you are anchoring the template in segments, like it's a puzzle, and you're like sort of disassembling it and reassembling it down wherever you've been called to place your template. There's a little tension in the body that can be released. So just noticing shoulders, neck, and back. Taking a deep breath and shaking it out a little bit. So this sound that I'm making, they're telling me, is supporting the finalizing of the anchoring in, right? So you can make it same sound yourself. Do that as long as you need to, and pause the audio if it's going to need a little more time. Don't let this direction that I'm giving you keep you from going a little deeper or doing something a little bit different. I think that's why it's important this is a recording and not like a regular guided journey that we do as a group live on Zoom, because you're able to stop when you need to. You're able to do whatever you need to do for your unique experience with this grid work. It makes sense. So whether you've paused or whether you feel like you're complete, once again, using the infinity sign, just tracing the infinity sign in front of your body. And they're telling me, I'm saying, do we do it side to side or up and down? I actually want us to do it side to side and up and down. So if you do the infinity sign, you're going to do like a number 8, right? And then you're going to do like a number 8 lying on its side. In the middle of that is the 0 point and the kind of the seal, bringing it to completion, buttoning it in, locking it in. Beautiful. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I feel the Azaz coming forward with a final message and also a gift. An energy exchange is what they're saying. Just gratitude for what we've done. And I feel them coming forward with an offering that you have the opportunity to receive if you would like. It's designed to be part of your body, your light body, but you may just hold on to it until you feel you're ready for it to be quote unquote installed. It's a disc-shaped object, pretty much centered in your chest, heart space. It's very thin, flat. It feels like it's a sentient technology that is regulating itself, regulating your body, calibrating. And what I'm hearing from the Azaz, it is going to support heart-centered action, heart expansion, comfort of your physical body as you expand your heart space. So whether or not you would like to hold on to this and have it installed into your body later, or whether you're ready for it at this moment in time, it's your choice. But I'd like to encourage you to begin to visualize it. It reminds me of a clock with a hand or a gauge, but it's just going around and around and around and around and around and around. It's spinning. That's how it works. They are telling me it can be connected, like we can see it like centrifugal force. It's supporting a centrifugal motion in the body to expand, to radiate our field of universal love, to expand and help us radiate our field of universal love from the heart and the high heart, actually. Beautiful. Now taking a moment to express your gratitude to the Azaz, to all of the beautiful guides who stepped forward for the second part to assist, to support. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yanakarak so somyarak. Sirak shumrarak. Sinin iana todo sinanaya. Sonun tere sanana totoreyanaya. And of course, taking one step back further and just thinking every single guide that came through this journey, lots of different guides, lots of different beautiful beings weaving with us. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Bringing this all to completion. Thanking your body, your higher self. Thanking this collective we have, this Starseed Gridwork community, because we're all doing this together, which makes it much, much more powerful, even though we're doing it asynchronously. We're not doing it like in real life at all the same time, but we are, because we're doing it outside of time and space. Thanking the Earth Mothers and Earth Fathers, the Star Mothers and the Star Fathers. Thanking them. And if you feel drawn, you can release the field of quantum flow that we called in when we initiated the grid work. Returning back to the most aligned, regular state of being for you to carry out all of your human stuff. So you can jump back into that whenever you feel called. And it will be easy and comfortable. Thank you, my beautiful friends. I'm so blessed to have you in this community. I'm so blessed to weave with you, to create with you, and to support Gaia in this way. I am you, and you are me, and we are we.